Hey guys, Scott here again with a new beer dissection video for you. What I have today, you guys are going to be pretty familiar with this brewing company, but from Kona Brewing Company, okay, it's called Hanalei, if I'm pronouncing that properly, Island IPA. Okay, you may be more familiar with Kona Brewing Company, I think it's the big Hawaiian Wave. It's a golden ale. I've done a review on that beer, I believe, earlier on a few months ago. So if you're interested in this brewing company, take a look at that. But that one you may be more familiar with. It's kind of like a blue label. This one is coming in at 4.5% alcohol. It says it's brewed with passion fruit, orange, and guava. Okay, I'm not one big for fruits in my beer, but we'll take a look at this, as well as other natural flavors added. So I'm sure they're using some type of artificial sweeteners and flavors. So again, Kona Brewing Company was bought out, I believe, by AB InBev, Budweiser, or if not them, if I'm mistaken, another big beer brand company several years ago. But you know, they've been on the market again with the Golden Ale, which is really a blonde ale. And again, I'm missing the name, but it's a blue label. I want to say it's Big Wave, I think is the name of the actual beer. And I think I've broached on one of my videos early on. So take a look at Beer Dissection or What is Styles. I think I discuss at least that beer. But again, this is brewed with passion fruit, orange, and guava. So we'll have to check this out. All right, so let's open up this bad boy. I'm not using anything crazy, just my typical tulip pint glass. Okay. And again, these are, you know, I like to review a lot of the beers that are, you know, kind of the high end, you know, like Hill's Farmstead, Equilibrium, but I also like to do some of the macro brews, as well as some of these beers that maybe were craft at one point before they got bought out. Because I know a lot of people and consumers are drinking all different styles. They're not always drinking the, you know, $30 4-packs of, you know, Hill Farmstead or the Alchemist or things like that. So you're always going to see on my channel beers like this. Okay, so let's pour this out. Just go about halfway here. All right, so what we're looking at here is a nice, about inch and a half white head. Looks like it's going to precipitate out here pretty quickly. You know, it's kind of looking a little bit more like a typical, you know, Budweiser head here. The color is kind of this light to medium gold, pretty clear, pretty, you know, sparkling clear. I can actually see myself through the image here. So there's no chill haze at all, which I wouldn't expect too much on this one, unless it was a New England IPA or a hazy or juicy. But since it is an IPA, sometimes you will see it. But this one's pretty clear. Okay. Thankfully, no nucleation bubbles here either. We'll take a look at the head again. We can kind of get it on camera here. So about a ½ inch. So we're already starting to lose it pretty rapidly. So let's take a sniff of the aroma. Yeah, so, you know, you're immediately smelling that tropical fruit. You know, I don't eat much guava, so sometimes I have a hard time picking it up. You know, not as easy as mango for me, or pineapple or grapefruit, but you definitely get some tropical fruit aromas, a little citrus with that orange. But we do know that it's, you know, being infused with it either naturally and or artificial flavoring. So passion fruit, orange, and guava. Okay, so if you're into beers like that, this one's gonna be probably right up your alley. You know, you kind of get like a little bit of a toast on the malt profile and the aroma, but it is kind of dominated with that tropical fruit, passion fruit, probably guava. And again, you do get a little bit of that citrus on the back end. Okay, so let's take a swig. All right, cheers. Wow. First thing you get hit with is it's pretty highly carbonated. So you kind of get that carbonic bite. Once that settles down, I'm actually getting more of the malt, kind of that bread crust toast again on the malt profile. Little astringency. I'm trying to ascertain between the bitterness. I mean, it's kind of got that moderate to pronounced bitterness. I don't know what the IBU units are on this beer, but I'm going to say it's probably in that 30 to 50 IBU range. So you definitely get some, moderate to pronounced bitterness there on the back end. Fruit-wise, I got more on the aroma. Maybe there's a little bit of that tropical fruit, but it kind of is not lingering at all on the palate at all. And even on the aftertaste, again, I'm still sitting with this astringency, which is probably coming almost like you had grapefruit pith or orange pith. It kind of, puckers you a little bit. Again, the malt's kind of sweet. They're probably using regular 2-row or Pilsner malt in this. But again, it's something that's infused. I'm not a big fruit beer guy, like I said, but something that's infused, advertised with orange, guava, and passion fruit, I would expect to get a little bit more from this. This kind of tastes like the Big Wave, the other Kona beer, the Big Wave, which is the golden ale, but with a little bit more bitterness and hop, flavor and aroma, and of course the infusion of the passion fruit and the guava. But it's still kind of meek as far as the flavors and the aroma that you'd expect if they are advertising being infused with guava, passion fruit, and orange. Listen, it's carbonated, it's cold, it's refreshing. I wouldn't stick my nose up on it, but there are plenty other beers a lot better than this, especially IPAs. But again, as I'm taking that last swig, you get left with that bitterness from the hops, hence it is an IPA, but there's really not much of that tropical fruit, passion fruit. So, if they are going to cheat and start using artificial flavors or other enhancers, you expect to be almost blown away or sucker punched with it, but you really don't. If anything, it probably tastes a little bit more like an American Pale Ale, like a Sierra Nevada, because it's kind of got that bitterness, but Sierra Nevada doesn't have that passion fruit citrus, but since this is so meek with it, it almost matches up with this. I definitely would take a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale over this beer any day. So again, guys, I would probably rate this beer no better than probably a C-, maybe even a D+. It's just, even though I don't like that fruit, if you're going to advertise it on the bottle, you expect to kind of get a definitely pronounced, sweetness and things from it. So other than that, guys, today's beer dissection was Hanalei Island IPA from Kona Brewing Company. I probably had it pop over my shoulder a few times, as well as the spinning of the bottle, but really not that impressive. I would probably go, if you're going to be getting something from Kona Brewing Company, the Big Wave I enjoy more. It's a golden ale, blonde ale. This one, it just kind of lays pretty flat, that even if you don't like fruit in your beer, this one's advertising and has it. It definitely is underperforming in that sense. If you're at a friend's house and they're serving it to you, you're not going to stick your nose up at it. But I would go with the Hawaii Kona Big Wave Golden Blonde Ale before this. So anyway, guys, until the next beer dissection video, have a great day. Take care.